Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Deborah, and welcome to all my new subscribers as well as the ones who have already joined me for a long time or a little time. I sent the winner's prize to Melissa this morning. Melissa is from the US, so it's winging its way over there as we speak, and hopefully she'll enjoy it when it arrives. And thank you to everyone who participated. So today I'm going to recycle some cards. Now, I was asked to do some cards with some papers from the scrapbook shop where I teach, and this was the paper that I was using. So I thought, because they were given back to me and I don't need cards, I don't really send cards anymore, I thought I'd try and make them into embellishments instead and try and, you know, put my own sort of spin on them, I guess. So this one here has got little envelopes that I made, and then I put little pictures in them. So I probably don't want those pictures showing, I wouldn't think, and I'm probably not super in love with the background paper that I used either. So I thought I'll start by cutting that away and then going from there. And I thought maybe you have some cards, maybe you've got cards that people have given you that you want to know how to recycle and make them your own before you put them into your journal. Or maybe you've just got some that you weren't super happy with, and so you kind of, you know, stopped making them and you want to fix them up. There might be a lot of reasons, and this may be of interest to you in that case. So I've got some Tim Holtz ephemera out. I've got these little ones here, and I wondered if these might go in. See if this one, oh, that one will go in there, but the others are only tiny, so they might be too big. Let's see if I can get this one maybe here, like this. I quite like the little envelopes that I've made. And this one here is one obviously I've cut down at another point in time, but I should be able to cut that down and put it in again if I just sort of have it about there. So I just have to trim a tiny bit off the edge. Let me do that. Just hand cut this, and that will go in there. Now, because I don't want this picture, I'm going to trim this away so you can't see the edges of the blue, and then pop that one in there. And then this one, I was again hoping that it might go in. It's again too small. Oh, it doesn't quite cover what I want it to cover. So I'll have to find another piece. This one here is quite large. I'm wondering if I can cut this one in half, or cut this bottom piece off is probably the go, because that way I can pop that in there, and then whether this one would then go in here. No, it's not going to fit, so I'm going to have to find another one. I've got some tags here, but I'm not sure any of them are small enough for what I want. So let's rethink this. I'll put this in here actually, because that quite covers that. And just again chop that edge off so we don't see that or that. What about if I cut some of this one off? If I cut this in half just to here and then put it in, not quite, tiny bit too big. Let's trim it back again. It's also got like this one down here, so it's in keeping with the piece that I've just put some more postcardy type things, and this is an old ad. Well, it's, you know, one of his advertising things. So I'm going to glue now. Sometimes I think I fiddle a bit too much instead of just getting the glue down and putting them in. Now I'm then going to make this into a pocket, because at the moment it's a card and I don't want it to be a card, I want it to be a pocket. So if I finish sticking these in, just put that out a bit, doesn't have to go all the way in, and then it opens up like this. But I thought that I could just glue the sides down and turn it into a side pocket. So I've just glued those down and I've created a pocket in there. So that's one of them. There's quite a few actually. I've made quite a lot from this. Now this one here is the same thing. I just made a bunch of cards, but I don't like the Mediterranean thing on the bottom. I mean, it's pretty, but it's probably not my aesthetic, so that'll need to come off. I'm actually going to rip this lace off. Might put it back down, but at the moment it's coming off, it and the stuff that's with it. And I will pop down some of this page of paper that I've got here. And this one I'm going to make a top pocket. So before I stick that paper any further, I'll put some glue on the sides. And then I'll put this around here as well. I could put a little tag in here. So I can put like that little shipping tag in there. Yeah, that fits fine actually. Depends what I want to do with it. And I've just run that paper across there, and I'm wondering if I should just put something else across. I might leave that for now, move on I think, and see what I'll do with it later. So this one here, I've actually put the whole thing on an angle. So I'm going to start by cutting this one. Just getting it cut down the back here. So basically, I could leave that on, but I don't want to in this instance because I want to cut through here and then cut around the bottom of it. What I did with this one is I made a big envelope, and then I took all these little postcards that this paper had, and I've just arranged them throughout that. And actually that looks much better now, I think. And I'm pretty sure that I also didn't cover this up, so that's just the background piece. So I could still stick like another piece in there like that if I wanted to. So that's another one, that was pretty quick. And then I've got still a couple more. So I've got this one here, which has got like a 3D effect. I've put the little things up on top, and then I've laid some leaves underneath it. A bit of lace on there. And again, I think maybe I can just make this into a side tuck. So I don't mind this paper. I could even leave that actually, and you could journal on that. But too late now, I've put the glue on it, so we'll make it into a side tuck. And I don't know that I need to do much more to that one either. I think that's pretty good. So we'll take this one, which is a similar thing. And again, I've got that inside piece there. I put some other stuff. That's got some little envelopes on it actually. I didn't realise that. I've done some fussy cutting there, and again I've raised that up there. And I think that that's probably okay as well to make into a side tuck. So these ones are pretty easy. And maybe you'll have some that are that easy as well. Just depends what you're dealing with as a beginning point, isn't it? Now this one here, again, I've got that lace down the side, and then I've got another card. I've got that on the back. I'm thinking I'll take this lace off here. I don't know if I want that on there. I'm going to start by cutting the back of it off. And then I'm going to cut through here and cut this lace off, I think. I might just try and pull that lace off to start with. That came off last time, so just depends what I've used to glue it down really. No, it'll come off. Okay, so I've got that lace off. Put 2 layers here to create a bit of a 3D effect. Also because I've kind of scratched around the edges of these and inked them. So I've got that sort of rough looking effect there. Just going to cut through here. And again down here. Basically just cutting around the edges. I don't mind these, this is quite fine, but I'll cut the sort of oceany background off actually. It's kind of what I'm doing really. Getting rid of the bluish sort of look in the background. Because obviously it suited the paper at the time, but now I'm remaking it into something that's a bit more junky. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the rest of this and I can put it on that. See how that's completely changed the look of it? In fact, I'm going to put that onto here as a starting point. Just so this paper, which is quite thin, this paper from my typing book, very thin actually, because it's old, so it tears really easily. You can see that. And then just tear it around. And that makes it much more grungy, even just doing that little bit of it. But I think I'm going to maybe cover this one. Don't really like those butterflies, I don't think. Just looking for something else I could cover that with. In fact, I've got that little tag in here somewhere. I might replace this tag with something. See, if I put that there, it's almost like that's the shipping sort of tag, isn't it? Especially if I put it down a little bit like that, that's even better actually. So I'm going to probably start by sticking this one down, just so it's above where the sides have been clipped off it. I'm just putting that above the line. And it looks quite good with the suitcases because it's a shipping tag, and also this. So that's where I'll put it. Start by doing that in the first instance. Let's put that up. And then chop it off the end here. Just remember, even though they're pre-made, we can chop bits off them. And then that can go down onto there. And that's much, much better, I think, already. So we'll put the whole lot down onto here. That's completely different to what it was now. It looked like one thing and now it looks totally like another. And then I've got this bit of seam binding. What I'm going to do is chop a bit of that off and thread it through the top of this tag. And yes, I should have done that before I put it down, but I didn't think about it before I put it down. I just saw it then. Now I've repurposed that into the shipping tag, and I'm wondering what else I can do. Not much probably, I don't think. I'm keeping them fairly simple. I think that they look, they don't look too bad, do they? And I think I had another one. Oh, this one here. So this one here has definitely got to have something done with it. I need to get rid of that picture. Don't mind the little flower. It's all a bit pastely for me. It's just, I need to, I don't know, grunge it up a bit or something. It just doesn't look as nice to my eye in this sort of tone. Let's try another bit of typing paper. This time I've got a bit of the index here. So I just wanted to see what I can do to tear some of that down. And I wonder if I'll take this off. I might take this off. Just pull that off and put some of this paper down here like this. Now again, this is opening up. I'm actually going to leave this because I quite like the inside of this one and I can use that to journal on. But this needs something else on it. It just looks way too bland. I've got this little card, which is just another Tim Holtz piece of ephemera, and I'm just going to put some glue down because I want to position that there. And this is the other piece of postcard that I used before, and I want to tuck it under so that you can't see that it's only a half postcard. So I just put some glue on and stick this down on this side. I'm actually going to move it up there a bit, I think, because I want it up near the flowers. And I still want to be able to see my paper underneath. And then I'll take this little bit that says typewriting, I quite like that, and I'm going to pop that down on here somewhere, possibly there. I'm leaving those edges all raggedy on purpose because I like them. and then that opens up and I've got a journaling spot there. So that is that one, and I'm pretty sure I think I've got one more. Let's just have a look where we're up to. So I've got this and this. I've done all of these too. There were quite a few actually in this pack. I didn't realise there were that many. I'm taking another piece of this paper, which is just that index, and I will put it across here. So you've got that, it's across that map. There's a bit of sticky on there, so it's sticking down quite well. That will give it some different texture to start with. Those ones are a bit big actually. I'm going to change tack completely, and I'm going to use some of these. And this is some leftover calligraphy chipboard pieces from Stamperia Calligraphy that I have on my desk. Now I have 8 things that I've repurposed into something that I actually will use, into little pockets and tuck spots. And this one I quite like, so I didn't do anything with that one, but I will use that one. And this one as well. I must like that because they're both similar and they're the ones I haven't changed. But everything else I have changed over to be more in keeping with what I like. I've kind of taken that Mediterranean sea, you know, with the sea and the Mediterranean buildings and things. I've taken all that away fairly simply and without using many supplies. So there's something that you can do if you've got, you know, some cards hanging around that perhaps you're not going to use. I mean, you might like them how they are. And I just wanted to change these up to show you that it could be done fairly easily. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is Deborah. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.